Hey guys, how's it going? What do we got here? I think people are still trickling in. I'm Andy.
I'm Andrew. Good to see
Hope you
everyone
guys
again.
are having a good night here. Where's everyone joining from? Let's see. I think it takes a few minutes to see the comments pop in here. Well, I'm in Calgary.
And I'm in Squamish, BC.
Oh, Shreddy.
Freddy's here.
Alex is very close to you.
Oregon e-biker Mark is joined. Excited to have him here. He's just joined the family. Dave Martin's here. And King City, Oregon. Yeah, we chatted about that on chat the other night. Sounds like a beautiful place.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a few things in store for you today. We're kind of just doing an update. It's been a while since we've connected with you guys. So there's been a lot happening here behind the scenes. So we just kind of wanted to bring you guys up to speed on a few things. So we're going to chat through a pretty incredible partnership we were able to land. We'll give a quick graffiti update. And then we want to talk about the Lyric Roadshow that come hell or high water is going to happen. More on that later. Yeah, so maybe we can kick it off with our super exciting partnership. So I think a number of you guys have probably seen by now, but let me just add this in here. We were super lucky to be able to do a collab with Tyson Beckford. So, I mean, it was really crazy how it all came about. I would say like working with someone like Tyson is really a dream for any brand. I mean, he worked with Ralph Lauren, so I would say like any brand would be super stoked to have him. And so when him and his team reached out to us, we were super excited and we're like, what? He wants to work with us? So everything moved pretty quickly once we kind of started the conversations. And he has like a serious passion for motorbikes and BMX. And so the partnership just felt like it really made sense. And so, yeah, so we moved forward with it. And this is the 305 Ghost. So we just released this, announced it a couple weeks ago when we were down in Miami. Tyson's from Miami. So the 305 is kind of a nod to where he calls home now. Yeah, and Andrew, I don't know if you want to kind of talk about the Ghost a little bit and like how you worked with Tyson to design it.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about a couple of different things. I think, I mean, we're pretty excited to have the opportunity. And what I'd say is it's our ability to kind of bring this to market from the time that Tyson and his team reached out to us to kind of having it out in market in Miami is indicative of the changes that we've made in Lyric, more towards the business that we want to be and where we've moved, manufacturing into Canada. Our ability to sort of rapidly prototype. We were already working through completing the Voodoo, and so when Tyson and his team reached out to us to work on a special model of the Voodoo to bring the 305 Ghost out, we were able to have all the capabilities that we needed by that point because of how we had staffed up, changed the organization to be able to do that. Because his group came and said, okay, so we want to do this scrambler version of it, right? So we want it to be part on road, part off road. So we added this off-road fork to it. We changed the head tube so we could accept that kind of off-road fork. We put on this pretty badass Street Fighter dual projector headlight on it. We put anodized red brakes, Adelin brakes on it. It's got the same regenerative brake that we're now using on all Lyric models, which we introduced to the graffiti a little while ago. And then we've handmade this carbon tank top, which, I mean, I guess if anyone knows how carbon's made anyway, a lot of it's handmade as it is. And then our signature sort of hand stitched seats that are on all of the lyric stuff. So it's ended up with this pretty badass look to a bike, and it's
Yes.
a numbered limited edition bike. So there'll be a numbered plaque on it that lets you know kind of which one you've got out of the 305 that are going to be made, and there's only going to be 305 made, and that's it, right? So it's pretty cool, right? And Tyson is just like, yeah, he's a bike guy, so he knows it's not like it wasn't tough to come up with it with him. He was immediately like, he's just so excited about every part.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like talking to any of you folks on here that are excited about e-bikes. You can speak about every part, and he's the same kind of person, just like excited about like, oh, let's get these kind of brakes, and oh, what if we if we anodize these bits, and it's just he knows his stuff. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. And the first time he saw the bike when we met up with him in Miami, that's kind of a fun part of the story. So in pitching to, make this collaboration happen, we already had Electrify Expo in Miami planned, and he lives in Miami. And so we were like, we could launch it then. And we were a little bit shitting our pants because could we launch it then? It was quite close, but we pulled it off. And so then we met up with him while we were down there for the Electrify Expo, and he was like a kid on Christmas when he first saw it, just ripping up and down Ocean Drive. So it was pretty cool. And we have a lot of content coming from that. We shot a whole bunch of marketing content and behind the scenes. So we posted a little bit behind the scenes already, but you guys will get to see a lot of that coming up. And I just saw Miss Go Electric. She just said, has there ever been a more high profile e-bike endorsement? I mean, I haven't seen one. So if you guys have, let us know, but we're happy to take the crown on that one. And actually one other fun thing. So next week we are doing, I popped the link in the chat there. You can reserve the Ghost now. Next week, we're going to be doing a pre-order deal. So we're going to have 20 bikes on for 25% off. And that's only if you reserve a bike now. Do you qualify for that? So you're going to want to reserve one now because 25% off is a pretty sweet deal and you won't want to miss out on that. That's going to be happening next Thursday. And before we do that, next week, we're also going to have an FAQ session specifically for the Voodoo and Ghost. And then we're going to do another session with Tyson. So he's going to come join us and we're going to chat about the Ghost. And you guys are going to be able to ask him your questions and connect with him. So lots of fun stuff coming with this. Any questions while we're talking Tyson right now? Or the Ghost? We'll keep an eye on the chat there. Okay, so do we want to give a quick graffiti update then, Andrew?
Yeah, so I guess just to start off on that too, I mean, I think that there's a thought with, e-bike companies that things might need to be somewhat linear in the development and production. I would say, just as a general comment on everything that we work on in general at Lyric Cycles, we've got a whole bunch of different veins of work that we spend time on in any given week, where we've got sort of future design models that we're working on, refinement of current prototypes that we're working on right now, production of current models that are going out, testing of different sort of parts and configurations of parts, So we've got a whole bunch of different angles, and so the work that we're doing on the graffiti and to bring the next batch of graffitis in. And when I say next batch, it's because this is actually the third production batch of the graffitis that is going out. It's all of that stuff happens within the company and is continuing to move. So I think we're still moving through. We put out an update to when the graffitis will be shipped. We're still holding to that update, and things are looking really good with that. And I think we'd sent out an update to everyone to let them know that that things are going to start shipping kind of in December, and that's looking positive.
Awesome. And yeah, and I know like a lot of you guys were bummed with the delay. We just want to reiterate, like, we're also super bummed. Sometimes these things are like out of our control, and we're doing our absolute best to make sure you guys get your bikes as quickly as possible. So just know that we feel your pain, and yeah, equally as disappointed, but promise you that they will be worth the wait. We were able to demo the first have that first connection point with customers down in Miami and demo the bikes. And, we posted a thing on Instagram. So if you haven't checked that out yet, do. But literally every person that tried the bikes came back with a huge smile on their face and couldn't believe, the performance of the bikes. So they will be worth the wait, we promise.
Yeah. It was an interesting course in Miami too, because it was quite a tight demo course, and because the graffiti is somewhat alarmingly fast, we definitely had a lot of people that were kind of crashing it on the hairpin turns in the course.
Yes.
I think in general, those Electrify Expos, I have a lot of crashes as it is, but this one had especially tight corners. It was interesting, but still, people were coming back quite excited. It was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask a question here to say, what's the range for the Ghost? So the Ghost is a 72 volt, 50 amp hour battery. So it's a fairly healthy size battery, right? So 3.6 kilowatt hour battery. So it's going to give you a good kind of 50-60 miles of range. And it all is going to depend on how you ride that, but yeah, it should get some reasonable range with that size of battery. It's a fairly large one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's get talking about the road show then. So, like I said, this was not easy to pull off, and quite frankly, we still haven't pulled it off just yet. But so the way this idea came to be was we had to ship our bikes down to Miami, and shipping electric bikes is not cheap. So we were like, well, if we're going to spend the money doing this, why don't we make the time down there worth it? Because we had Miami, and then we have Austin coming up November 11th that weekend. And so we wanted to keep the bikes down there. So rather than just put them in storage and waste more money, we're like, let's actually, go and do some customer demos and, get bikes to reviewers, visit some dealers, all this fun stuff. So then we were supposed to ship the bikes, I think it was a Wednesday, which got pushed to a Friday, which then just a flurry of things happening. So then Alex, who you may actually meet on this call, maybe not, but you will see a lot of him coming up. So give Alex a call on a Friday. And I'm like, so what are your thoughts on staying down in the US and going on a road show for like 6 to 8 weeks? Are you down for that? And he goes, oh my God, yeah, I'm totally in. So this was Friday. We flew him out the following day from Vancouver to Calgary. The following day, We also went and purchased. Oh, I meant to show you guys this. We'll come back to that. We went and purchased this lovely RV. This was going to be our roadshow vehicle. Went and bought it for $5,000. We're like, what a deal. Now, it looked like it was going to be a great idea. Well, it turned out.
We quite enjoyed the comedy of how of the fact that it was like, you know, you're meeting is like modern technology meets very old school RV.
Yeah, so Alex was game to like ride this until he got in it and started driving it, and then it was one thing after another, and it was like, okay, it needs new front wheels. Oh, it needs this. It needs this. And we just like, the curveballs kept coming. We were like, got it. Finally, we couldn't get it anymore. There was something to do with the lights and the electrical. We're like, okay, not safe. So
the irony that it was the electrical that held us back on this thing.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, you would think we bought it from Walter White. It's
yeah, that would make for an even better story.
Yeah.
But so then we're like, okay, I guess the dream is done. But we wouldn't let it go. So we shipped the bikes down there. Shout out to my man Chip from DDL, just always looking out for us. Then we get down there and we're like, okay, I think we can still make this happen. And we literally went down every single path. Do we get another RV? Do we do like rent a van for van life? Nope, can't tow anything behind it. So then we finally think we figured it out, and we found this beautiful RV. And we were like, this is going to be incredible to drive across the country in this. So poor Alex gets the bikes from Miami to Jupiter, Florida, is in a storage unit. And then the guy who owns this calls me and he's like, I appreciate your entrepreneurial spirit. There is no way these bikes are fitting in here. I was like, but dude, I literally, like, I showed you the pictures and I told you exactly what we were going to do with them. And you said you were cool with it. He was like, not having it, pieced out, left Alex with all of the bikes in the storage unit. And yeah, just stranded now in Jupiter, Florida. So finally, we found a Sprinter van. We're doing it less flashy Airbnbs, but we are making it on the road. So Alex is now, he's drove from Jupiter and he should just be making his way to Delaware right now. He should be pulling into town. And Shreddy is the first stop on our road show here. So Oregon e-biker says, sounds like a reality TV show. And you know what? We were talking about this the other day. Like, we should have been filming all this shit. But yeah, so this is all the stuff that we're dealing with behind the scenes, just so you guys know. But yeah, so just to kind of touch on what we're going to be doing now, we're going to have all the dates posted really soon. This literally is coming together as we're speaking because of all those roadblocks we ran into. But we're starting out in Delaware, like I said. Then we're going to make our way to New York City for a few days, stopping off in DC, Philadelphia, through the Carolinas, Nashville, and then basically that leg of the trip will take us to Austin for Electrify Expo, which is going to be November 11th to the 13th, I believe. And then from there, we're going to go west through Phoenix and down to San Diego, up to LA and all those surrounding areas. We know we got tons of people from California, so we definitely want to make a showing there. And then we'll make our way up to like San Jose, I think, Portland, Seattle, back to home in Vancouver. So that'll take us to the start of December. So hopefully we'll get to see a lot of you guys along the way. And like I said, we'll be posting along the way all the dates. Oh,
Eric's looking for a private demo at his house. Where do you live, Eric? Where do you live?
Well, and actually, so okay, I have some links for you guys because we're pulling this all together and scheduling it all like in the next couple weeks here. So, you know, obviously starting with the first few dates. So we've already connected with some e-bike groups and some dealers, as well as some reviewers. But if you guys know of any, or you're a part of any e-bike groups, and you want to help us, if you're coordinating a ride, and you know that could be like our demo point, we would love to collaborate with you guys and kind of come out and meet you guys there, and then we can get the rest of the people who are wanting to demo to the same spot. So feel free to pop your e-bike group in the chat, or also reach out to us on Instagram, if you don't mind, or you can send us an email as well, however you want to get a hold of us. But that'll be kind of the best way to do it. We do really want to make sure that we're like meeting up with you guys where you are. And then for reviewers, if you are actually first here with dealers, because kind of the same thing, like if you have a shop where we could pop a couple bikes out front and let people demo them, it'll kind of be a win-win. You'll get some extra foot traffic. We'll get to meet you. You can test our bikes, and then we can have customers test the bikes as well. So we really want to make this super productive while we're on the road here. So I'm going to put a little thing here. So if you're a dealer, you can fill out this form here. And it's just going to ask you for your contact information, where your store is, website, all of that stuff. And then we'll get in touch with you and see if we can either schedule something this trip, or we'll talk if we're not going to hit up your area. And then for reviewers, so Shreddy's already on the docket, but who else are you guys wanting to see? So let us know. We are asking that all reviewers, I'm going to put another link in here. We just need all the reviewers to fill this application out. Even if we've talked before, just please fill that out. It helps us stay organized. And again, that's going to ask you all your contact details, how long you're going to need with the bike, your social networks, all of that fun stuff. And then we'll reach out to you to schedule a time where you'll be able to demo the bike and shoot your content.
Whereabouts are you at, Miss Go Electric? I've seen your channel before. I just can't remember. Like I've watched some of your.
I was looking at it today, actually.
Yeah, I don't quite remember where, because you travel around quite a bit.
And that's the other thing, I guess, for like reviewers, if you are kind of on the move and we're not in your area and you're able to kind of meet us in one of the areas we're going to be in, we can coordinate it that way as well. Detroit. We will not be making our way to Detroit this trip, unfortunately.
Like ish. Detroit-ish. I don't think we're making our way through Idaho either. Sorry, Jeff. I don't think we're going to be, I don't think we're ending.
Yeah, we kind of had to stay because it's getting a little bit late into the season. So, well, we had to be in Austin. So we kind of just had to make it southern and then back up the West Coast to where we call home.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, yeah. LA. Perfect. We have quite a number of days slotted for LA. So that'll be great. Also, you guys can feel free to send that link to reviewers if they're not on here. Let them know, because we do want to make sure that we hit up everyone. The one thing just to note, I know a lot of reviewers do request the bikes. We just have our demo bikes right now, so this would be like a couple days, and then we'll negotiate what the exchange of services looks like and make sure we take care of that after. Okay. I think
some questions on tentative dates for DC. There are some tentative dates. I think there's
next Saturday is DC.
And is there a group ride going on there?
Yeah, so I was chatting with District Nomads, I think their names was, and I'm chatting with the gentleman who runs the group. So they're going to be in I forget what the place is called, the Navy Yard, maybe. for a ride. So yeah, we were going to coordinate that. That's kind of where that idea came to really use like the groups as demo points. But yeah, so if you guys have any group rides you're organizing, let us know, because that's a perfect spot for us to do our demos.
Question from Dave. Do you sell company stocks or are you private? So we actually are doing a raise right now. There is a minimum investment, Dave. So if you want to chat, do reach out to either Andy or I on email, and we can chat with you about that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question, will the Voodoo get a rack? So all of our bikes we want to have as, to fill in as many use cases as possible. So yes, the Voodoo, we will be working on a rack edition for that as well. This is the graffitis rack. And there's an extension as well to the graffiti rack that will allow for the addition of bags. Now, these things are really, really strong. So when we were doing some filming in Miami, I was riding the graffiti up and down, and we had Alex sat on the edge of the back of the rack here, sitting backwards, using the pegs and actually sitting backwards. And the rack holds him, a 200-pound adult just fine. So these are really, really strong racks. Like when we build stuff, we're pretty serious about the longevity of it. So yeah, and the Voodoo will get a similar rack. It won't look exactly like this, but the idea will be that there will be utility that you can get from that with both a rack and the ability to add bags.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions about anything that we talked about?
It's a more quiet group tonight.
Yeah, we were a little last minute on announcing this one. We'll be more prepared for next week's. But yeah, if you're watching this after, feel free to pop into the comments. We'll be checking them. Although actually, I don't know that you can comment on YouTube after a live. You can on Facebook. But like I said, feel free to reach out to us through Instagram also.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do make time to try and chat with people too if they want to chat with us one-on-one. So I know we've chatted with a number of folks on here, on email, on the phone, on chat. Like I see lots and lots of familiar faces on here, which is just so cool, right? It's like it's entirely why we're doing this. These are joyful products, and we love talking about them, and we love building them, and so yeah, it's just cool, kind of being able to interact with people on them.
Yeah. Well, and it's even more fun in person. So that's why we're really excited about the roadshow too. And it'll primarily be Alex and Caroline that you'll see down there, but Andrew and I will be in Austin as well. And then we'll both be at some stops on the journey as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a few more questions coming in now. $100 deposit is refundable, yes. And we were just saying earlier, I'm not sure if you were on, but with the Ghost, we're going to be doing the pre-order deal next week, and it's going to be, there's 20 bikes that will be offered at 25% off. It'll be a first come, first serve. So that's only eligible to people with the $100 deposit. So if you want to qualify for that, you'll have to put that deposit down. Ship date for the graffiti. So that will be in December. We chatted about that also. If you didn't receive the update, Ryan, we sent one a couple weeks back that kind of explained everything in detail. If you didn't receive that by any chance, just let me know and I can resend that to you. And accessories. So yeah, we talked about the rack. This will be available. And so sorry, guys. I know we've been saying we're going to have the accessories up. Hopefully seeing what we've been working on behind the scenes gives us a little grace. But yes, that is on our to-do list, and we will get that done hopefully next week, now that we're getting a little bit more organized with this roadshow moving on.
Yep. There was a question earlier too about the weight of the 305 Ghost. So that's it's light for a motorcycle, heavy for an e-bike. It's 150 pounds. And a lot of that's like 50 pounds of that is the battery itself. So, that 72 volt, 50 amp hour battery is quite weighty. So it's about 155 pounds, the bike itself. Signal lights options for the graffiti, no, not out of the gate. So if we actually include turn signals on the graffiti, it's considered a motorcycle when it comes across the border into the US. And so it's not an option that we can offer. And at the moment, we don't have like a plug and play accessory for turn signals, because what would be required is a switch, the lights itself, the wiring harness, and a flasher relay to make it all happen. So that's not something that we currently have designed and developed to sell with the graffiti. And mostly because of the fact that we are trying to not make the graffiti a motorcycle as it is. As soon as you start adding a lot of those things, it starts to turn it into a motorcycle and starts to get the treatment of a motorcycle.
Dave's asking about the rack. Yeah, so this is the graffiti rack. This is the prototype here. So we'll update that on the site. The one on the site was a render.
Yeah, and with this will have like additions of a side panel as well that can be added on, so that like bags can be kind of attached to the side and prevent them from swinging into the wheel. I'm not sure. So questions came in about the motor. Not sure what bike you're asking about, Mark. The motor on the graffiti is specifically made for us at Lyric, and was designed in conjunction for Lyric. The motor on the Voodoo and the Ghost is a QS motor.
All right. Well, I think we've answered everyone's questions. So next week, over the coming days, we're going to be getting all of the plans in place. So we'll be releasing the roadshow schedule. But like I said, if you guys do have suggestions on dealer locations or group rides where we could kind of use that as our demo home base in your hometown, definitely let us know, because we would love to collaborate on that. And if you're a reviewer, make sure you fill out that form. If you're a dealer, fill out the form, and we will be in touch very soon. And then next week we have 2 lives. We're going to do a Voodoo Ghost FAQ, and then that'll be on this same format, Facebook and YouTube. And then we're going to do a live with Tyson on Instagram. So stay tuned for both of those. And then we have the big sale next week too. All right. I think we can wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let us know if you have any questions, and we're happy to chat.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.